comes a point when you may look back on your life and realize how much suffering you caused yourself. And that's quite uncomfortable to look at. It's easier to look at the suffering other people caused you, but there was always an action that you allowed, or a situation that you didn't choose but didn't unchoose. And there comes a point when you go, I've caused myself quite a lot of deep suffering here. And then I hope with that realization and the emotions that come up, because it's sort of, I can kind of feel it here, like I'm like vomiting up. Just yeah, you want to call it guilt, you want to call it shame, you can call it whatever you like. But it's betrayal. It's the situations where you betrayed yourself. And we've all got them, probably a catalogue of them. And I think as a woman, we're kind of trained from a patriarchal society, and this is not man bashing, because they were trained in it too. And we start going on about religion. Let's just stop. but that training has made you throw yourself under the bus, probably a lot, where you have said yes to things you meant no to, where you have been complicit in your own abuse. But the biggest, deepest, and hardest thing when you start to go down this rabbit hole, which I may have just caused for you, so trigger warning, is when you realize that that fucking bollocks stopped you living your brightest potential. And that shit ends here. You will no longer throw yourself under the bus. There is no fucking bus. You will no longer put yourself in harm's way to save somebody else. Let them have their journey. They don't need saving. And you don't need to waste your time trying to save them. You are precious. Now, I'm going to be clear here that this doesn't mean spiritual narcissism, where we go into this depth of self-care, being about screw everybody else. It's just for me. This is my me time, like every second of the day. I actually feel that the greatest healing is when we come into community, when we come into relationship, when we come into conscious openness, when we are real with people. And if you want really deep, great connections, then you need to know how to speak about what your needs are and what lights you up, what would make you happy, what you want to share, what you want to give, how you want to play, how you want to thrive. Not boundaries, self-love. Because boundaries are just brilliant for people who want to kick the shit out of them. But self-love doesn't need boundaries. Self-love just says, I know I'm precious and I have this. I don't need to give this time, but I have so much time for this. Brené Brown said that the most loving people were the most boundaried. But I don't know. I wonder if, I think the most loving people are the most self-loving people. And if I dug deep into what she was saying, that's how I would interpret it. And I haven't done her science. But they're not boundaried with fuck off. They are loving enough to themselves to be able to speak their truth and hold needs, hold themselves and others accountable. The kind of truth scares the living shit out of people. And it's radical honesty. Radical honesty. And radical honesty isn't, I'm going to say this because I'm just being radically honest, and it really doesn't matter if it hurts you, because you're not talking about someone else. So you're not being radically honest about them. You cannot ever be radically honest about another human being, because you aren't them. So you have no fucking clue. So you can't be radically honest about someone else and radically honestly telling you that you're an asshole. You can't do that, because just there is no honesty when it comes to understanding another human being. Any person you can be truly honest about and with is yourself. And as you unfold and you learn what that is, because it will change, we're good like that. Express it, express it, express it, express it. If you want real connection, express it. That's how it works. Bit of a deep one. You've got